Hello, my name is Babak, and I will talk about the positive financial impact of sustainable circular economy on businesses. As you're well aware, profit margin is not sacrificed in order to meet the sustainable and circular economy requirements. And before I talk about the financial benefits, I'll talk about the sustainable circular economy first. Well, as you know, waste and pollutions are they're reduced, materials are regenerated, converted, recycled. Components are designed for reusability as much as possible. It's not always possible to do that, and if businesses want to conform to sustainable circular economy, well, businesses they have for sure they have office and administrative setting, and some of them if they have processing facilities. So for sure, most of the businesses have that office and administration setting. Uh, a lot of a portion of these activities can be done by businesses themselves. Simple reuse of products and recycling. It can be done by businesses either in their office settings or in their processing facilities. But a major portion of these sustainable circular activities cannot be done by most businesses, so they are outsourced or delegated to specialists in component recovery. And these specialists they work on, um, for example, in processing food waste, in textiles, processing plastics, electronics, and capital equipment, and many other things. And for example, in capital equipment, which is subject to depreciation, a normal business in their process facility could take care of that equipment if he wants to, but he could send it to specialists to probably perform reverse logistics to harvest components when the end period comes up for that equipment. And basically, we have businesses that have office setting and process facilities. Some of them have process facilities, and we have a newly formed specialist who take care of this sustainable circular economy requirements that cannot be met by normal businesses. And in case of plastics, for example, in the normal business, the plastics they're basically they can be reused as much as possible, plastic or its substitutes, or but the unused portion at some stage it has to go to like plastic processing facility. Now, in the plastic processing facility, as you're well aware, initially, if the strength of plastic is still high, they can do grinding and melting, the mechanical recovery of plastic. But at some points, the mechanical strength of the plastic is so low it can't be used for anything. Or you have microplastics, in which case, for these cases, then you can use technologies like cold uh, uh, cold plasma cold plasma pyrolysis, or hydrothermal processing, or other techniques to convert plastics into valuable products. And these tasks, the grinding, melting, mechanical, or those technologies that convert plastics to other products are done by the specialist in the plastics. Now, also in the main business, if your product is being sold in plastic packages, it's okay to sell plastic packages if that's the only option. See, businesses they have to try see what options they can have. By the time there is an if they only have to use plastic packaging to sell their components, it is okay. But then the responsibility of the sustainable and circular economy falls into the hand of the customer. So now the customer who receives that product in a plastic package will be responsible for taking care of the plastic at its later stage. As you can see, it is not that difficult to implement sustainable circular economy in normal businesses. And now that I've talked about, I've provided background on this sort of economy, I will concentrate on the positive financial benefit of having the sustainable and circular economy. Well, obviously, because of this circular nature, um, um, uh, and we have more material resources. So having more material resources in this supply chain obviously will have a positive impact on the economy because we have reduced the scarcity of resources. So we have more material resources because of the cyclic nature of this sustainable and circular economy. So this automatically has a positive impact of the economy, which obviously it will impact businesses. That's one benefit of the financial benefit of this sort of economy. And also there's a lot of business opportunities. If you recall the specialist that I mentioned before, that there's a lot of business opportunity for implementing this circular the projects. The toughest part of this circular projects, and these are the opportunities. These are tasks that cannot be done by normal businesses. Many new businesses are created by because of this sustainable and circular economy could be created. And so now since these businesses uh, have a certain task to do, they're initially funded by government, most of them, but first they're funded by government. Eventually, they will be privatized, uh, and and because of these extra business opportunities, because of these specialists that have to handle the bulk requirement for circular projects. And obviously, when you have a successful sector in the economy, and that sector would have more transactions with other businesses and sectors. So basically, improvement in one sector that financial benefit ripples down to other sectors of the economy because of the transactions and interactions that those businesses will have with other businesses. So that's the second benefit of using a sustainable circular economy. And then there's a third benefit is that in percentage of GDP, if you think about it, the cost of implementing circular projects uh, uh, is much less than the cost of recovering from environmental disasters, mismanagement, loss of life, disruptions of the ecosystem. And if you think about the emotional impact of environmental mismanagement and the problem, all of these, whenever you have, you will notice that because this cost of implementing the circle project, um, you'll notice that it's nothing compared to the cost of recovering from the consequence of not implementing these circular and sustainable projects. And so, whenever you have two options, even though in terms of percentage of GTP, even if the whole thing, even the whole thing of implementing circular projects uh, were to be done by the government, still you notice that the cost in terms of GDP would be much less than not implementing uh, this type of sustainable circular project, and this by itself improves the economy, because you have two options, and so when one option is less cost involves less cost, so that would definitely boost the economy. And you can imagine, there are other um, issues that we can talk about. For example, in terms of emotions, and people feel better that they're doing something about the um, environment, and this sustainable circular economy. There's an improvement in environment, and the impact on the social impact, the sustainable social impact, the and also the economical impact. All of these factors creates a positive feeling for the people, and it boosts their motivation to continue and be productive. And so, as you can see, the sustainable circular economy, as you know yourself, is it's not like overhead in businesses, so that you have to sacrifice profit margin to meet the sustainable and circular requirement. In fact, what happens that if the business planning is done properly, the sustainable and circular economy for businesses would have tremendous benefit in terms of profit margins and financial benefits. In fact, you can find business operating points that would be more profitable in sustainable and circular economy than if you did not have this sustainable circular economy in the first place. So this sort of economy, sustainable circular economy, is not a burden for businesses that they have to sacrifice their profit margin, but in fact, it has the potential of increasing their profit margins, and also having businesses and others having a positive impact on environment and sustainability. So a lot of great benefits financially and else for implementing sustainable and circular economy. Well, thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.